No, seriously, no, it's been very effective. Thing is, there's three really important things you need to get into your head, Mr. Listener, Miss Listener, Ms. Listener, about clients. Okay, because people are so desperate to sell, and they treat a client coming into their business as an event when it's actually part of the process. Marketing and sales are processes made up of a series of events. And like a series of events, like buses, there's always another one coming along. If you've got a proper process in place, so you've got attract, seduce, and sell in place, and if you've not, you need to have, hint, hint, then on any given sales situation, whether it's a call, whether it's an email, whether it's a video, whether it's a phone and a video conference, whether it's a meeting, whether it's an event, whatever, any given sales situation, there's always another one coming along. You don't need that sale because you should have a pipeline of more. And you know, statistically, out of every 10 that come along, you'll probably close 3 or 7 or 5. How many you close? It might be 1 in 100. Doesn't matter. If you're selling multi-million-pound yachts and your sales process is largely automated, so the kind of phone calls you're having are with very highly qualified people already, doesn't matter if you're only selling 1 in 100. 100 phone calls, 1 a day, that's $1 million, that's multi-million-dollar a yacht every 3 months. You know, it doesn't, your conversion rate isn't as important as your ROI. But that's then maximized by realizing it doesn't matter if I don't close this client. I'm not going to give a discount because there was someone along soon. It's the first thing. Second thing is, on the back of that, you don't need any one client. No one sale is that important to you, or it shouldn't be. Now, the most dangerous number in business is usually 1, not always, but usually 1. And if you are desperate to have one client because that client will solve all your problems, you're in a really fucking shitty situation. Okay, you're in the situation you're in, but you should never have been in it in the first place. And if it's possible for you to be in it now, you should get out of it. I remember I don't remember what the name of the factory was, but I think there was a factory up in Belfast used to do all the St. Michael stuff for Marks and Spencer. And Marks and Spencer took their business away, and it was their only client. So the factory closed that week because they had no business. That's unforgivable, because the CEO of that hosiery business should have been looking around for other big clients to service, or at least in the pipeline in case we lost this one. We'll never lose them. We've been with us for years. Well, Leicester used to be a fucking centre for hosiery factories, and they've all gone. Probably because of that fucking stupid blinkered attitude. Don't tell me the hosiery business is dead and all that kind of shit, because very few businesses, even horse and cart businesses, are not dead. They're a fucking luxury item now. You know, don't give me that shit. And of course, the third one is realize that not everyone is a fit for your business anyway. So even if they wanted to buy from you, you might not want to let them. You know, there are loads of people out there, and I'm not talking about just shitty poor clients either. I mean, there are loads of businesses out there. There are lots of high quality clients out there in the sense that they've got money, they've got the will, they've got the wherewithal to spend it, they've got great markets to sell into. There's loads of people out there I could approach and help, and have approached me in the past, and I thought, no, not interested. There was one guy I worked with, a dentist in the States. He was a lovely bloke, paid well, interesting work, easy stuff. I just let him go because I says, it isn't me. And what I really meant was, you're really fucking boring. It just wasn't fun working with him. I didn't need the money.
Yeah.
And I knew that there's loads of clients out there like him.
Yeah.
So I know that none of this stuff is fucking hard.
People seem to get confused when it comes to business, even though for the most part it's common sense. They seem to think you're there to serve the world, and you should be, you know, subservient to these people, and you should be submissive. And it's wrong. I don't know where it comes from, but you know, well, I've had friends tell me, John, that the way we do things are wrong, and
yeah, right.
That's yes, to slag them off. They've never fucking done it.
Well, no,
they've read a textbook, and that's that.
There are loads of people with lots of business advice for us who've never run a business. I know that. Here's the thing: there's a difference between serving someone and being servile. And if you want a real example of what I mean by that, is consider a traditional English butler. No English butler is servile, but they do serve, and they actually call it in service. And you know, it's an honourable profession. and they get treated well and they get paid well, but they are by no means servile. Servile is the kind of revolting person you find in some shops, ingratiating themselves at loss of their own dignity and self-respect. That's servility. So service and civility are two very different things. And I don't think people understand that. And of course, service does not mean, because you're not being servile, serving does not mean that you're a doormat or you should allow yourself to be a doormat. We covered